convey the congratulations of His Majesty Otunfo said to Santehene, to you on your selection to serve as Antiman, as members of the Board of Directors of Asante Kotoko Sporting Club, and to thank you for accepting to do so. Kotoko is one of the precious assets of Asante. For more than 80 years, it has been a unique club, reflecting the fighting spirit of Asante and acting as a moral booster to all our people through its achievements on the sporting field. By its nature, however, this asset does not lend itself to direct management by the palace. Instead, eminent sons and daughters in diverse fields have been honored at different times with a king's invitation to manage its affairs. Since ascending the golden stool 20 years ago, Otunfo Osei II has handed this honor to some of the most outstanding personalities in our land. Names like the late P.V. Obeng, Herbert Mensah, Kobna Kese, Bafo Bantmahine, and many others come to mind. All of them have done their best. And yet, for all their efforts, I cannot tell you today that we are handing over to you a club that is in the best of health. Kotoko as a brand is without equal in Ghana. It is without doubt the milk cow of Ghana football. And I will not be surprised if any serious analysis of the revenue from the Premier League showed that Kotoko alone contributes at least half the total revenue from match proceeds. That would be more than any club anywhere in the world can say, can claim in any part of the world. But that is the reality in Ghana. Kotoko's economic impact goes beyond the game itself. The men and women in diverse trades will attest to the fact of the phenomenal effect that Kotoko has on trade in this country on match days. Few clubs in Africa and even globally can claim to have such an impact on the game in their own countries. That, by any banking or economic criteria, must place Kotoko at the top as an investment target. It has been something of a mystery, therefore, that this enormous potential has not been translated into the viable, vibrant economic product that Kotoko deserves to be. Last month, in the face of some puzzling administrative issues, Otunfo decided to effect some fundamental changes to the model by which Kotoko has been managed over the years. As a first step, he appointed a 3-member committee chaired by the Dean of the Faculty of Law at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Lydia Nkansa, to investigate a number of issues undermining the integrity of the club. But more importantly, to make recommendations for such institutional reforms as may be needed to ensure that Kotoko becomes what it should be. The committee was expected to report in 4 weeks, but owing to the enormity of the tasks that are ahead, we've had to extend it for a further 4 weeks. In the meantime, Otufo has decided to appoint this new board to bring the club into full compliance with the requirements of the Premier League licensing system. But more importantly, to signal his desire for some fundamental changes to the model by which Kotoko has been run in the past. You know that agree that Kotoko attained the peak of its soccer prowess in the 70s and early 80s, when it won the African Championship and became the only club from the sub-Saharan area to take on the giants of North Africa. Ghana led the way in the development of football in tropical Africa in those days. And at the club level, it was Kotoko who led the way in competing with the North African clubs in Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia. And Kotoko was at par with all the giants like Al Ahly, Zamalek of Egypt, Raja Casablanca of Morocco, Esperance of Tunisia. Throughout that period, football was only a pastime for the social enjoyment of the people. However, from the mid-80s, the status of football changed completely when football became a professional sport. The North African countries responded to that change to professionalism with the appropriate investment in the infrastructure needed for professional sport. Unfortunately, we have been stuck with the past model, trying to make do with the same model we operated when football was only a pastime. The contrast in fortunes and performance between Kotoko and our former rivals in the north, as well as the new players in this, on the African continent, such as TP Mazembe of Congo and Sundown of South Africa, should tell us that our model is well past the sell-by date. And you can only achieve success in professional football if you invest in the right infrastructure and the right assets. Happily, it does not require rocket science, and you do not have to reinvent the wheel. From Brazil to Argentina, from Spain to Germany, across the African, from the north to South Africa, there is a model that is simple and open to everyone. And that is the model which His Majesty now wants Kotoko to follow. So the simple message from Otunfo to you today, the message that he wishes me to convey to you is that you are starting from ground zero to build new foundations and new structures that will guarantee the sustainable growth of Kotoko in the decades to come. The mantle you are being given can be summed up in one word: development. Infrastructural development, player development, strategic and institutional development. The first order is to develop the Adakujache field into the best sporting complex in the sub-region, to contain the best soccer academy and the best training facility, complete with a first-class gym, medical, nutritional, and all the ancillary services needed for such a facility. While implementing the academy and training facility complex, you should begin preparations for the development of Kotoko's own stadium within the shortest possible time. No doubt, the